Hey everybody, I'm SimmingInOz, and in this series we're going to be converting the empty world of Magnolia Promenade from The Sims 4 into a sprawling underwater world of Bikini Bottom with all of our favourite characters and locations. Let's dive in. Well, howdy folks, we're going to be starting out with Patrick's Rock today, and I don't know if you've ever actually looked at this thing, but that's not a house. It is in no way a house that you can make in The Sims, so we're going to have to be a little bit creative with Patrick's house, and we're just going to start off with the very plain, very basics. So what we'll do is we'll divide the lot into three because we want everything to be quite even between the three houses, and we're just popping down our footpaths and our boundaries and everything and giving ourselves a really solid foundation to start from, because there's nothing worse than getting halfway into a build and realizing you're off center. And then really it's just, it's the most simple thing in the whole wide world. We're going to put down a coconut. It's not a rock, it's a coconut. And it's perfectly brown and it's perfectly circular if I sink it into the ground a little bit and I turn it around. And suddenly we have Patrick's house. Done! We're done! Roll the credits. But unfortunately I'm me and I can't stop there. So we're going to go in, we're going to pop in a little bit of detail. So what we're doing is I wanted to layer the base with a really nice section of sand, as if the rock has been has some actual weight to it and it's been dented and fallen and just plonked right in the sand. And Patrick's just sort of made it his little house, so it has indentations where the sand has shifted around the rock. And then for the antenna on top, because of course he has an antenna, I used the old little TV that he has, and I just basically sunk it into the rock, tried to hide it as much as I possibly could, and that is the antenna. It's difficult to see, but it is there and we're all about the details. Now Patrick does have a backyard. He does, because I've seen photos of it. I've seen it in photos where he and SpongeBob are basically like playing back and forth, and Squidward gets really annoyed at their antics and everything, but I could literally be describing any episode of SpongeBob right now. But I swear to God, Google it. There is backyards. And what we're doing is I wanted him to be very ramshackle in his backyard, so it's got like these very themed wooden and rope kind of barriers, and they're a little bit broken in places, they're not very well maintained. And he's got some garbage bins, which I do put some garbage bins down, and some bags and rubbish and everything, and he's a little bit behind on his bin days, but that's okay. I also gave him a little bit of a barbecue, because I definitely feel like Patrick is the kind of starfish to just have a barbecue in his backyard, so we definitely did that. And then in order to actually get down to his actual property where he lives in his little circular nightmare room, we're going to actually have him go down a little ladder in his backyard. It's hidden so you can't see it from the front, but you can certainly get through it to the back. And then I'm going to say this a few times in this build, because God help me, every single one of these characters' buildings are circular, and oh bless their cotton socks. It's so hard to work with. Oh my God, I've worked with circular things a few times and it never gets any easier, and you just sort of have to run with it and see what you can do, but my God, oh, it's so annoying. Anywho, now Patrick's house, it's not as detailed as you'd think. Like, you obviously have some concept art out there that actually does flesh out his property a little bit, but not as much as you'd think, because we need to give this man a bathroom, a bedroom, a kitchen, and none of that is really canon, so we're just basically working with what we have. I've decided to go off what we do see and extend outwards. So I do believe in one episode, I have a feeling Patrick and SpongeBob are taking care of some kind of baby clam, and while SpongeBob stays home and looks after the baby, Patrick goes to work, in quotes, and really SpongeBob discovers that after his, very long days at work, it's actually Patrick just going back to his home and taking a nap in his little chair and everything in front of the TV, and SpongeBob is pissed. So it's just the things that stick with you. So I really wanted to replicate that. So we're starting off with his little lounge area, and I really love his armchair because it's got like a sort of beigey, sandy sheet draped over it because it's like just doing a dust covering kind of thing. But if you squint at it, it's actually almost like the chair is made out of sand, which all of Patrick's furniture canonically is. So technically, like, he has like a sand house, and I went in here and I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. So I really just had to improvise. It's not all going to be sand, it's going to be woodwork, it's going to be metalwork, but you know what, we're doing what we can. And we're just sort of filling in the gaps. So I didn't want to make the house too structured either, because it is just one big open space floor plan. And I didn't want to like make walls and section off rooms and everything, because that would feel just inauthentic to what kind of lazy lifestyle Patrick is actually working with. I feel like he dug out this room and he's just put all of his stuff in here, and that's that. There's no sectioning or anything. So I'm using Parisians just to sort of at least section out the bathroom, just to give him the illusion of privacy, but everything else is very open floor plan. And for the theme of his underground little shack, it's very bachelor pad. It's very much within the personality of this is a bachelor. He's living his best life, and older bachelor, I'll say. And he's just sort of, it's not a well taken care of home. It's a little bit messy, but it's also got a lot of random junk. You know, like fans and shoes, and I do put down some like action figures to stand in for Mermaid Bad and Barnacle Boy, and just sort of liven up the personality of the place. I also love his sand snowman next to his TV, because I'm like, it's so silly, and it's so keeping with what Patrick and SpongeBob are meant to be, which is, at the end of the day, just two immature man-childs, but we love them to death anyway, and they're just so fun. I also gave him a little exercise bike that I'm sure he actually doesn't use, and this was around the time that Adventure Awaits came out, and I was like so loving all the new furniture, because everything I was building was just like this sort of natural tone, kind of ramshackle furniture, which I thought was amazing. Now with the kitchen, okay, suspend your disbelief, because I did what I could, but then again, I'm working with curves. I can only do so much. I'm only a man. So we really just had to just try our best, and it's a very ramshackle kitchen. It's something very thrown together, and of course he's got like a beer fridge and a little oven that's just not really an oven. It's not built in or anything. It's just something he's bought from somewhere just to get the job done, do his pizzas, do his chicken nuggies, and he'll be good. And I made sure to give him like dishes and everything, and just sort of make it all very beach themed and bachelor themed, and just it honestly turned out quite a lot more cluttered than I was initially expecting, but I kept finding things just to add personality. Like he's got fish. It's so awful. He's got like fish on his wall. I don't think it's a malicious kind of thing. It's just like Patrick enjoys fishing, if fishing does indeed exist. Because apparently the Goo Lagoon is a thing, and, you know, fire underwater is a thing, and wind underwater is a thing, and there's a king jellyfish, and bubbles can come to life. Suspend your disbelief. Shush, calm down. It's fine. So, yes. He does get everything he wants, and I love that he like has like postcards as if he has family far away, and little action figures and a coffee machine and dumbbells that he probably never uses. Though I imagine Patrick is like quite strong. Like he's a big boy, but he's honestly got some muscles to him, which I do love the idea of. And then we're just honestly taking some sand at the very end, and we're actually just blurring the line between where the walls meet the floor and making it look like, yes, this is actually a sandy cavern that he has dug out, and there is still some excess sand around. And I love it because you can actually go up to these sand piles and actually dig them up, which is so cool, and find things, and they'll just naturally respawn later. And here we are with our little slideshow. I do put the slideshows at the end of each individual build just so we can sort of go through and keep it all together. So we've got Patrick taking a nap in his little hidey hole, and it's just so him, and I love it so much. And I honestly expect that SpongeBob has never set foot in this room in his life. He just probably expects Patrick to actually literally sleep under the rock. And now we're moving over to Squidward's house. Oh, what a contrast. So, modern simplistic is the theme for Squidward's house. Now, the first thing I came upon was, it's so challenging to make this house because, for one, it's not perfectly straight. It's got an angle to it. And also, it's an Easter Island head. And going in, I'm like, this is gonna be easy, like a complete jackass. No. No. I really had to sort of look at my options and go, alright, seriously, what can I do here? Because his home is a very textured, it's stonework, but it's a very specific colour, it's a very specific shape, and it's, at the end of the day, a face. So it was really difficult to try and replicate that, so I had to just sort of take it in baby steps. So first, we're going to get down our foundations. Lovely. It's going to be 4 stories tall, because it is actually quite tall for a building, though they are only like, I feel like, the smallest level of floors and everything, just to sort of not make it too tall. We're going in with the eyes. I feel like these eyes were thick enough that they were actually going to do the job, in that you can recognize them as eyes. If you went too thin on the windows, then it wouldn't work. And then I think the changing point for Squidward's house was this stonework pillar that I found, definitely using the tool mod on Squidward's house in a big way, because as soon as I had this down, it had like the very vaguest kind of good shape to it, and it had a color tone and a texture that I felt was absolutely perfect for Squidward's house. So if you can hear people in the background, I'm actually on a cruise right now, I'm so sorry. So if you hear like people in the hallway, I'm literally recording on a cruise boat. So with Squidward's house, it was the correct texture, it was almost the correct color. Like, his house is more of a very blue kind of thing, and that does come in later when I do actually put the wallpaper down. And as you can see, it's really coming together. I feel like as soon as I put the nose in and the ears down, we were like, okay, yeah, we're getting somewhere. And then obviously the mouth of the structure is just a really big wooden door. There are 2 doors, like directly on top of each other, because if you place a double door down on a circular surface, it like clips in. So there's a door, and then there's a door slightly outwards of the building to actually sort of give you the illusion of a full door. And then I really wanted to give him a garage. It was very important to me that he had a garage, because Squidward from the movie has this really weird bike. It's pretentious up the wazoo, and I love that thing. So I really wanted to include references to that. So he has a garage, an illusion of a garage, not an actual garage. I popped him down a bike, and I also wanted to allude to the fact that he loves sunbaking. So Squidward's quite vain, and he thinks himself quite handsome, which he is. And so I gave him a little sun lounger with some wine and some sunbathing lotion and everything. And it just reminds me of the episode where, I don't know, something happens, I think. It can be anything really, but I just remember Squidward really regretting sunbaking for some reason. Now we're moving on to his bathroom now. Now I honestly struggled with this room the most, because it was the first interior room of Squidward's house that I was doing, and I hadn't quite caught on to the creative theme that I wanted to go for Squidward. So at the moment I was just playing with things, playing with sort of themes and textures and colours and wallpapers and flooring, and it wasn't just quite meshing with me, because if you watch the show, they don't give you much to work with, and what they do give you is very contrasting. Like, Squidward's house is so colourful, but he'll have like bright red walls with like blue stonework floors, and I'm like, I can't make that work in The Sims, are you kidding? So this is me trying to have a themed kind of Squidward's bathroom, and it just wasn't working. It really just, something about the purple. His bathroom is purple, I swear to God, but it's like a purple stonework kind of thing. You see it in the movie when he's taking a shower. And also, he has to have like a very big standing bathtub so he can actually stand up and take a shower, because I just remember SpongeBob climbing into the shower with him in the movie, and they're just having a conversation, and Squidward's so embarrassed, and SpongeBob is just blank oblivious to the inappropriateness of that situation. I just love it. I've seen the first SpongeBob movie a lot. I grew up on it. It's fine. Now with his bedroom, Squidward has canonically a canopy bed, but it's a very specific bed because it has like a roof to it and has like curtains draping down. Now we do have some of those in the game, however they're not like beach themed, so I was going a lot with the island living pack in this one for his furnishings, and God bless it, the furnishings were great to work with, but just the bed in particular, I was like, I really want that canopy bed he's so known for, because, you know, SpongeBob and Patrick break into this guy's house so much. We've seen his bedroom a few times now, and we know it's a canopy bed, so I really just couldn't leave it alone. I also put down some white robes because it reminds me of the time that SpongeBob and Patrick accidentally impale a clay wax figurine of Squidward and assume they've killed Squidward. And Squidward comes out of the bathroom fresh from a beautiful spa day shower, a self-care shower, and he's all white and everything, and they mistake him for a ghost, and he's wearing a white robe. It was a really long explanation for justifying why I put down white robes in his bedroom, but there you go. Now, his art studio is a little bit more canonically accurate to the show because it's got that grey floor with that bright red walls. And God help him, what is wrong with this man? So I'm pretty sure it's canonical that Squidward isn't actually that... I don't know. He's got a very specific art style, and it's sort of played upon that he doesn't have style. But maybe I've been to art school, okay? You meet all sorts. And at the end of the day, it's sort of like art is that subjective. But there's no wrong art kind of thing. It's a whole thing that there's nothing... Art isn't terrible. It all depends on the subjective narrative behind the art, or the story behind the art, or some kind of reason behind it. So literally anything could be art. So Squidward's art, in my mind, isn't actually bad. It's just Squidward's art. And what he gets out of that art is different from what other people would get out of his art. So I'm of the opinion, leave the poor bugger alone. His art's fine. It's a little bit, you know, like... He's got an obsession with himself, but self-portrait is a valid form of art. I'm getting really passionate about this. I need to calm down. I did go through and I actually re-wallpapered Squidward's bedroom and bathroom to something a little bit more cartoony, which I'm really glad I did. And now we're moving on to his main living area. Now, you do see this a few times. Canonically, he does have like really beach-themed dark blue furniture with like green accents or bamboo accents. Obviously can't do that, but I'm going in with like the rattan or the bamboo kind of coffee table. We're doing some beach-themed you know, furniture and everything, and his wallpaper's really textured. It's one of those things where I'm like, this is the only instance where I will ever use this like dragon crocodile skin wallpaper. Where did we get this? Simstein, where did we get this from? I had to substitute his clarinet for a violin because obviously we don't have a clarinet, but I did put down like a saxophone in a case and everything. And I don't actually keep these couches and armchairs because while they are the correct shade of blue, I really didn't think they fit the beach theme he was going for. They're very Victorian, and Squidward is still, at the end of the day, a really contemporary beach themed kind of guy, so it's very new age kind of thing. So I was trying to stick with that, and he's got this lovely cherry wood coloured all throughout his house, which I thought was absolutely lovely. So I just sort of veered off course a little bit. I almost gave him too many dining chairs as well, and then I remembered how antisocial Squidward is, and that no, he does not have that many dining chairs. He should not. And I love the idea that oh, another fun fact, I didn't actually mention this in Patrick's bit, but because Patrick's house is a coconut, the Sims kept eating his house. So I'd place down Patrick's house and I'd go and I'd do some live edit stuff, and I'd come back and his house would just be gone. I'm like, what's happening? And then I caught Patrick one day planting a coconut, and I'm like, oh, you sons of guns. So I had to go through and make it so that they couldn't actually go up to Patrick's house. So there's a very invisible barrier fence, you know, like the black and white one, the tape. It's actually surrounding the coconut of Patrick's house, so they can't actually go up to it and access it anymore. So because people kept bloody eating Patrick's house, and I thought that was so fun. The bloody Sims, you can't leave them alone for a second. Building on that, Mrs. Puff got impregnated by Kingsley Shacklebolt in the Harry Potter save, and this was all happening throughout the SpongeBob building era. And I was like, oh my god, everyone needs to calm your farm. So really, that was some random information you didn't need. But really, that's it for Squidward's house. Now, moving into SpongeBob's house. Here we go. And one sec, I'll come back to that. The new sofa in Squidward's house is like this beautiful very Art Deco modular kind of beautiful blue couch, and I thought that was so perfect for him. It's a little bit artsy for him, so we like that for him. Now, SpongeBob's house. To my very, 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 very great regret, I recorded building it, and then for whatever reason, when I was done building it, I pressed save and I closed my laptop. And if you've ever recorded something, you know that if you turn off your computer while you're recording something, it absolutely shits a brick. So, I'm sorry for swearing, but I was very upset, and all my SpongeBob build footage actually got corrupted. So there, but fear not, because I am a perfectionist at the end of the day. I went back and I reverse engineered building SpongeBob's house. So when we go into eventually seeing SpongeBob's house, it won't look like the traditional way I usually build, like I've built Patrick's and Squidward's. You're going to see it in sort of like a stop motion kind of thing, but I'm too lazy to do stop motion. So basically what I did was I went in there and I went room by room, and I basically just went delete, 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 and then I, started recording, and then I went undo, 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 undo. So it's almost like the room is building itself, but it's not really like stop motion where they take a photo every few seconds and, put them in order like a professional. That's not me, sorry. So when we get to SpongeBob's house, just note that it's going to be a little bit different, and I will try and give you any information that I can. Anywho, SpongeBob's house. It's a frickin' pineapple, and God help me. Oh, what the frick. It's so hard to do. So, as you can see, we're going in with the wood tone wallpaper. We're going in with the steel tin roof. I've chucked like a plant on the top of it. We've got the anchor door and everything. And I absolutely love the pathway leading up to SpongeBob's front door. And then I also gave him a bubble stand at the front because it's so gorgeous. And then for his backyard, it's really just a clothesline and then a really nice sort of sectioned area for him to build sandcastles and everything with Patrick. You can see them there as well. And it's just so fun. Now for his house, deceptively complicated, but simple at the same time. He does have a library, I promise. Everyone was like, you got to add a library. And I'm like, don't worry, I gotcha. So his couch. I love the couch because Adventure Awaits really came in clutch. And then obviously has all his nautical furniture. And I went through on the gallery and I found some photos of like Gary and Squidward and all of his friends and everything. And you can really just see it really is SpongeBob's house. And it's so lovely. And I'm just putting like nautical furniture down absolutely everywhere, trying to remember that Gary is a thing and that he has a pet. And I love that his front sink is a bucket. What the frick? And I've got like arts and crafts at the table and everything. It's so beautiful. Now, SpongeBob does canonically have a library in his house, so I made sure to pop that in. And then we have his little weight room upstairs where he's got like little stuffed toy animals, and those are his weights and everything. He's got like fold out bed because I'm not sure it's actually accurate for him to sleep in his bed because the Sim can't actually get in that thing. It's so hard. I gave him a little rubber ducky in the bathroom, which I think is absolutely adorable. And then for his wardrobe, it's just a bunch of boxes. What else would it be? So he does have a bunch of boxes as clothing. And then for his bedroom, he's got his bed with the horn alarm clock and the diving board above his bed and everything, and a little place for Gary. And that's it. That's SpongeBob's house. I'm so sorry for getting the footage corrupted. That was a silly thing to do, but here we are. I was able to knock out something for you. But I really hoped you enjoyed building Patrick, Squidward, and SpongeBob's house. We've really just got Mr. Krabs' house to go, and my god, that's a doozy because that man lives in an anchor. It's an anchor. How the frick do you do an anchor? I've done it. It was hard, but I'll see you then. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye-bye!